great. I'm Brendan from Markham, and this is Hayden from Markham. We're going to have a little chat about basement waterproofing, a design-led waterproofing strategy and why that matters, and a little bit of a chat about end-to-end responsibility and eliminating finger-pointing, because basement waterproofing has become something of a hot topic in the construction industry in Australia and New Zealand. So, Hayden, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit, and then we can get into the nuts and bolts of it?
Brilliant. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, Hayden Prestidge, work out of the Napier office at Markham. Been involved with construction for the last 15 plus years, but very passionate about the topic of waterproofing. So yeah, very passionate about this waterproofing topic, and it is a big topic in New Zealand and Australia, and to get it right. And I think we need to keep talking about it, raising the awareness and raising the conversation to help the industry get better and come on board to get all thoughts. But I suppose let's get one thing straight. We've all seen the consequences of when waterproofing hasn't gone well. You know, there's remedial, there's leaks, there's hassle, there's downtime, and costly repairs, etc., even right through to structural failure, and that's really what this is about, is getting that better from the start. And really, if you pinpoint everything back, I would think there would be design failures, really, and that's why this topic of design-led waterproofing is very, very needed in our industry, I believe. So it's when it's a tack on, when it's an afterthought, so to speak, waterproofing, that's when defects come in. And when it can be designed in unison or harmony with the structure itself, with the ground conditions, right from the concept of the project, that's when we start to get things right in waterproofing. And if we do leave it as a bolt-on, and if we do leave it as something the subcontractors get to choose later on once the project's sort of designed, this really our whole risk, I suppose, is opened up, and we don't have the ability to design out defects or design out bad performance. So it's a good thing. What do you think? Is that the line you're thinking?
Yeah, that's important. I think, as you say, not a bolt-on. We have sometimes we have people come to us and say, okay, we've got this structure, here's the design of it, we're going to put waterproofing in it, we've got to allow for waterproofing, which to our way of thinking is really a little bit late. You need to take into account the site situations, the water table, and potential severe weather situations, or what happens if a building is built next door that didn't used to be there, and that sort of thing, and allow for those factors right before you start your design process.
Yeah, 100%. And to think about the use of the building and what's the potential use, beyond its foreseeable future, what's happening next, and are we designing that within in mind, and is the waterproofing with that in mind? If it was truly designed in harmony, so to speak, with the structure and the use of the building, we'll get a lot more life out of it. We'll get, picture where you might have detailing around concrete methodology or construction methodology, but no consideration for waterproofing at that time. What happens when those two become separate packages? It's who takes responsibility, those sort of things. It's about, I think, getting our heads together early. It's about collaboration between all parties, right from concept, so architects, developers, engineers, the builders, the waterproofing suppliers, the waterproofing installers, everyone having a seat at the table right from that point and getting it right in design, and then really it brings it down to what was I thinking? Really, one thing it brings it down is waterproofing is not a product. It's not a product. It's part of the design. It's a system. It's a process. It's working in with the detailing of the actual project itself. and that's how we get how we get it all aligned, and success is bound to fall into it. So I think there's a lot more we can do in this topic, and we need to keep raising the awareness and need to keep talking about it. But that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. It kind of leads into the next phase of what we were going to talk about, which is end-to-end responsibility, so that what gets designed in is literally carried through right to the warranty stage. Would you say something about that?
Yeah, I think that's important, and it's someone needs to be responsible for the entire process. Someone there should really be one neck, one contractor responsible. It doesn't say they do all the points, but to hold it all together, right from the design review, right through to the installation, the quality of the installation, all the QA through site, and then through to the final warranty. So if we haven't got that one party, from design right through to aftercare, we're really again opening ourselves up for risk. It's like who takes responsibility if an issue happens, or even through the process, who takes responsibility to get things right, who calls that shot, and someone needs to stand up and take that on to get things right. In a traditional setup, obviously, we'd all be familiar with it, wouldn't we? We have got a developer comes with a project, engineers get involved around the structure, architects often working out how to waterproof it and protect it. Then you've got a waterproofing supplier come along. Yep, I can help out there. Often got waterproofing consultants involved, and then we've more than often got waterproofing installer involved, and all these different parties all having a seat at the table, which is not a bad thing, but no one's owning that single source of warranty, if you know what I mean. And it really brings in unclarity, or is that a word? Or accountability is not clear, and that can result in, well, for a start, things slow down, things get costly, things get overlooked, and quality is not controlled, and that results in what the issues we were talking about earlier, which we've all seen. In short, it's just not a good practice, is it, when you've got multiple fingers pointing, and it's not smart construction, and that's what we want to think about, is who can stand up, who can own this topic and make it happen.
Yeah, that's good. As you say about finger pointing, you get somebody who sold the product, somebody who installed the product, and then you get other parties who are working on site, and if something goes wrong, what we have observed at times is each person exonerates themselves and passes it on to the other parties that are involved, whereas much better if everybody's working together right through the project to a single goal. Is that
That's right? 100%, yeah. No, that's exactly right. And that's a good point. The project needs to be the common goal, and the outcome of that project. We need to take away our hats of, when you got multiple parties, everyone's buying their own space, right? But the project needs to be the winner, and the success of the project needs to be the winner. That needs to be the focus. It's good.
very good? That's really good. And this came out of some research that we did, asking the industry players at multiple levels as to what their main pain points were, and this is one of the key things that came out of that: the need for a design-led system, a design-led approach, and the need for that design to be carried right through to the end of the project with a view for satisfaction for the customer. Would you have any more thoughts on the feedback, Hayden, or any specifics?
Yeah, it is good to hear the feedback out there, and I think we're all fighting a similar battle. And it's the good thing about it is there is awareness out there that things need to change. there's awareness out there that you know, exactly what you're going over. Someone needs to stand up, but where we're seeing a lack is that voice, is that desire to change, is that you know, will we actually make the changes needed to get the right result? So yeah, no, it's very valid. I think the fact that we have still no code for subgrade waterproofing in New Zealand and Australia is a shortcoming, and it's not helping the situation. It's not helping the successful outcome. And I think the BS 8102 2022 version it's a bit of a game changer, really. And I think we should be aligning to that and to be guided by it, because it requires a waterproofing specialist to be involved right from the design, right from the early stages, doing that desktop study, doing that full review of what's going on, and then right through to the project like we're talking. So it's it really takes us away from that point that waterproofing's a tack on. It's using BS 8102, going through those phases, working at the grades of the basement, looking at the future of the building, etc. It really is the core part of early stage planning, and it becomes part of the design, just as important as structural and architectural design of what we're putting together. So, no, I think it's good. We do need to adopt it, I believe. But the role of the waterproofing specialist or BS 8102 doesn't stop at the design phase. Gives us guidelines all the way through to make sure the project through construction, but even beyond in its project life cycle, is successful. And it really provides a platform, I believe, for collaboration. There's points through the standard that we can work through and get our heads together and bring collaboration on these points to make the waterproofing suit what's needed for that and for long term. So I think we must treat waterproofing as a coordinated approach. It's very important to get involved early. Don't go all the way through your structural design, your methodology, and then think about waterproofing. Use BS 8102 as a guide. It's been there. It's been proven numerous times, very, very well in Britain, obviously. And because there's no code at these sides yet, we need to adopt it, use it as a framework. Yes, it's not everything. There's other elements that need to be included, but it does give us a tool we can use. But I don't know if you've got any thoughts on that one.
No, that's good. I was thinking that we might expand on that a little bit moving forward in a future segment, if you're okay with that. And
Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on today, and thank you everybody for listening. More to come.
Let's do it. Let's get it right.
Thank you.
Markham, adding life to concrete.